Start your engines because the folks at Naughty Dog have a new game. It emerged from their action platform success with the Jak and Daxter precursor trilogy.
Upon completing Jak 3, we realized that we had a lot of fun with the vehicles in that game, and we decided that we really wanted to focus our attention, a full game's worth of attention, on just vehicles alone. It really allows you to play with Jak and Daxter in a brand new way.
We wanted to make something that was appropriate for the way that our fans have matured, that would offer them something new, but that would also offer them some familiar characters in new situations.
Thus was born Jak X, combat racing.
Jak X combat racing can be summed up with the simple phrase of leather, napalm, and gasoline.
It's not really a story about the trilogy. It's not about the Jak universe per se. It's its own separate thing. And so we started developing a story just around the idea of racing itself.
At Naughty Dog, we love story and we love telling it, and we also love gameplay, of course. That's our bread and butter. So we've gone to great lengths to make sure that the story and the game fit together.
I finally get to meet the great racer, Jak.
And?
And what?
Our intrepid heroes are drawn into a web of deceit and destruction that will have you on the edge of your car seat.
The storyline of the game centers around Jak and Daxter attending the reading of the will of Crew, their old nemesis from Jak 2.
Hello, nearly friends. Mostly enemies.
And then they discover that from beyond the grave he has poisoned them, and that he will only give them the antidote if they compete in this racing competition on his behalf.
My advice is trust no one. Win the race and save yourselves.
It's all the action excitement you want, but at the same time you have sort of this overlaying and underlying motivation, this emotional connection to different characters, and finding out why you're doing what you're doing and what's going to happen in the end.
As you race and fight, you'll have your pick from a fleet of vehicles that you can customize.
We have over 12 vehicles that you'll be able to play throughout the course of the game, and we also have some secret vehicles available for unlocking.
For each and every one of these cars, we designed somewhere between like 3 and 5 whole different sets of body parts for them. And they're all interchangeable. Put on some special spoilers, switch out the wheels, and before you know it, you have a car which is absolutely unique to you.
Your whirlwind adventure will take you on a journey to vast, faraway worlds.
You're talking about big terrain, big jumps, huge open vistas, and things that you've just never seen before in a racing game.
We have 31 different venues, and they all connect together, so we have a lot of different combinations for all the tracks.
We're always loading the next level of the game just ahead of the player, and this allows us to have an incredible variety of graphics.
It's a big, wide world of choice and opportunity. Just pick a mode, and off you go.
The adventure mode is, of course, where we tell most of the story. And then as you play through the events of the adventure mode, we drop extra little nuggets of story on the player as the events unfold.
Jak X Combat Racing has so many different types of racing. You have circuit racing, you have deathmatch, which deathmatch is basically you get out there and you're going head-to-head with everybody else. You've got the actual death races, which you're on the same courses that you've been playing for clock and for speed. Now you're going out there trying to kill as many vehicles as you can and as quickly as you can. There are artifact races where you're trying to collect as many things as you possibly can. Again, you can do that with team or with not team. Lots of different arenas, lots of different tracks. There's just a lot of different modes.
So we've put together a dozen different events across 31 different venues. So the combinatorial matrix of event and venue types is huge. You can play this game for years.
In this realm of mayhem, it pays to ensure your health. You better load up on weapons and check your 6.
A wise man once said, be watchful of those in front of you, but beware of those behind.
What wise man said that?
I did!
The weapon system is based around 2 different weapon slots. You've got one on either side of the screen. One's for forward-facing weapons, and the other one is for rear weapons, and also for special weapons.
We have a lot of different weapons. If you use them well, you can upgrade them, so they're getting better and better.
And there's a lot of sort of rock, paper, scissors, countermeasures and attacks and strategies while you're on the track.
Combat racing is so popular it can't be contained. It's breaking out in a big way around the online world.
We offer the player the ability to go online with 6 other people. So you can actually battle it out in every single mode online. Anything that's available in single player, you can play online as well.
Jak X Combat Racing was designed with online in mind from day one. You have everything you could ever possibly want with an online element, with the lobbies and with clans and all the things you've come to expect. But in addition to that, you have customization of every race. You can do single player, you know, full screen. You can do split screen online with multiple players. It gives you, the player, lots of choices to customize for themselves.
And the best part of this experience is having fun.
What I love about Jak X the most is just how much fun I have playing it. I can't put the controller down. I just have to get in there and have another race, have another rematch, and just talk a little more smack.
It's core gameplay. It's seat of the pants, white knuckles, do or die gameplay, and everybody seems to really respond to it.
It's great. I mean, we also playing a lot, maybe too much sometimes. It's a blast.
It's going to blow players away in terms of the variety of the play and the new directions that we're taking Jak and Dax in their quest to win the prize, save the day.
So keep on that gas, keep on that turbo, and go around the corners and just go white knuckle. And you know, it's Mach 3 with your hair on fire. That's really what it's all about.
Let's race.
Jak and Daxter really kind of came out of a culmination of a series of brainstormings with a number of people, trying to think about how we were going to make an action hero who was a little more accessible and in a world that was much bigger than you'd seen before.
We wanted to focus on the speed, action, and insane intensity that you get from an arcade racer. We wanted to include the customization and personalization you get with a racing sim. We wanted to have the over-the-top carnage and wreckage that you get from a vehicular combat game, and then we wanted to tie that all up in the Jak and Daxter universe. That's Jak X.
We've got an amazing team of animators who come from all over, both from the video games industry and from the feature film industry. They just do a mind-blowing job in bringing the characters to life.
We hired a student right out of Pasadena Art Center for vehicle design. He was actually major in transport design. He had a choice of going to Detroit and designing real vehicles or coming to Naughty Dog and actually working on Jak X Combat Racing. Fortunately for us, he chose Naughty Dog and has just kicked out dozens of incredible vehicle designs.
What makes Jak X so great is the variations of the tracks and the terrain. We have such incredibly interesting designs. Yasuhara did a lot of the track designs.
So some of the locations in a game will be familiar to players of the other Jak games, but the other whole half of the game is in all new locations.
Welcome, race fans, to another turbocharged season of high-stakes, high-speed racing. As the best racers of the world swap paint in their quest to claim the Crash City Grand Championship Trophy.
For Jak X, we brought everybody back. Everybody that's ever been in the universe that seems to be characters that people wanted to see again. Susan Eisenberg is back as Ashlyn.
What the hell did you do to us?
And of course, Mark Irwin came back as Jak.
We can do this. We can race. And we can beat Crew at his own game.
And Max Casella, who's the voice of Daxter.
Jak, next time you invite me to one of your little parties, don't!
He's my secret weapon, really. There's an old adage that says, you know, that if you have a scene that's sagging, have somebody run in with a gun. Well, in my case, whenever a scene's really bad, have Daxter again say something, because he always adds so much life to the scene.
To me, as a game designer, audio is a really incredibly important thing. This game, we've worked with a couple of really awesome artists to create the soundtrack for the game.
We have Queens of the Stone Age for the intro. That's it's really an amazing intro.
Most of the game's soundtrack has been made by Mr. Billy Howardell. His fans, of course, will know him from his work with A Perfect Circle. And he's crafted a whole variety of amazing tracks for us.
We allow 6 players to race against each other at the same time. You can wear a headset so that you can have an open channel and talk to all those people out there. We have a lobby which is fully featured with clans and buddies, So, you know, we're really trying to make it a very rich online experience.
But in addition to that, you have customization of every race. So everything from the wind parameters to the weapons used in the race, the number of track laps, the number of the time limits, the amount of collectibles. These things are all adjustable online with you and your friends.
We've gone to great pains to give online players all the tools that we know that they need and love to be able to make their online community experience really great. We've created buddy lists so that you can browse lists of players that you've played against recently and add them to a list of friends. And then when you come online, you can very quickly and easily see which of your buddies are online. We also have clans, which of course a bit like clubs or racing teams that the players can form and invite each other to join.
And you've got so many choices, not only in weapons, but in track types and in different types of opponents that you're playing.
But this game is actually more about the fast action, intense speed that you would imagine from an arcade race or a racing sim.
I'm really pleased with the reception we've got because people have been saying that while they've seen this style of play in one game before, that style of play in another game, they've never really seen it all together in one game like this.
When the going gets tough, Jack will get us out of it.
We're just gonna have to win the whole thing.